Oh, I actually hit that. Welcome back to week 4 of my journey learning mouse and keyboard, coming from over 6,000 hours on console. Kind of crazy that we're already on week 4, on the first month of progress. And the biggest notable things this week is last weekend I was talking about how soon I thought I might be able to reach my end goal of being able to consistently do carries and, you know, get to better than I was on Xbox. And this week is going to be the complete opposite of that. And actually, the thing that it kind of reminds me of is the SL model of leadership. And this is something that I was introduced to this past week because at work I started the process of becoming an in-service trainer. I think I've mentioned in my previous videos, but I'm a bus driver, so I'm going through the process right now and actually just completed it last Friday of becoming a in-service trainer. So in this session, where I'm getting at with this is they were introducing this concept of SL leadership. And if you think of myself as the trainee in this instance, I actually think I'm falling into the second category of this. Up until now, I would say I'm pretty much the enthusiastic beginner, where it's categorized by having a lack of skill to the point where you don't even know you're bad. And so I'm thinking I'm starting to get to the second point where I have just enough skill, I'm starting to get enough competency on mouse and keyboard to where I'm really knowing I'm bad. And I've mentioned in my previous videos, I get frustrated frequently, but this weekend was that on a whole new level. I mean, I dropped a 0.62 KD, didn't go flawless, I got a max streak of 3, and my win rate was 50-50. Compared to last week, I didn't even get half the stats I got last week. I got less than half, which is insane, and I almost did worse than my first ever week on PC. Now, I don't have an excuse for this, really. I would say, oh, the map was terrible, but I love Burnout. That's actually probably my favorite map. I have the most hours played on Burnout of any map, because anytime I do a custom game with my friends, that's the map we pick. So I don't know what happened. I don't really know why I did so bad. The only thing I can think of is I did try and switch to Hunter, which is actually my main character on Xbox. It's just I can't fall back on the Titan lunge melee from 30 meters away, getting all your health back, and I would say a less mechanically intensive combo. So I tried sniping this weekend, I tried 140 hand cannon, I tried Redrick's broadsword, Invis Hunter, so it wasn't all high skill, but the mechanical intensity was significantly higher and the aim requirements were also significantly higher. And so I think it brought into light how bad I still am. And I did have a couple games where I did well, but for the most part it was miserable. And then on the comp side of things, I did pretty much on par with last week. I only played 13 games compared to the, well, it's about as much the same I played last week, and I played 14. But my computer's having this weird issue where it was crashing only on Destiny 2, and I thought it was because I was running Spotify in the background, and that seemed to fix it for a while, but it still seems to be crashing, so I'm unsure what that is about. But the biggest note from the comp sessions I was playing is that I was starting to hit flux grenades because I was playing an Arc Hunter, and for some reason I can't hit a snipe for the life of me, and my aim on everything else is wishy-washy at best, but I was hitting a ton of flux nades. There's actually a couple clips I have of me hitting flux nades, and some of them are in trials, and that was when I was still surprised. Oh, I just stuck that. So I was hitting it, but I was doing a significantly better job with my grenades than I was my gun skill, which is strange. But I really don't have a ton to update on because this week was regression. I mean, it's easy to talk when I'm doing better and things are going well and I have things I'm excited to show. I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of embarrassed to show my KD, and I'm actually gonna open up my overall stats for the season, just the entire season since I switched to keyboard and mouse, because I did make the switch as the seasons changed for Destiny, so it kind of makes a nice divide for statistics. I'll just throw it up on screen quick, but as you can see, that compared to the last season where I played Destiny, technically I did have 8 games played on season 27, but I'm not going to count that, so season 26 was the last one I actually played. And I mean, you can just look at the difference in stats, ELO, everything, and also matches played. I had a lot more time last season. But it has been a complete, like, regression. And kind of going back to that training model I mentioned earlier, when you're going at this from the perspective as the trainer in the situation instead of the trainee, you're supposed to at this stage provide a lot of like support to the person, because naturally they're getting down on themselves and noticing their mistakes a lot more, and they're again conscious of the fact that they're bad. So as a trainer, you're supposed to spend this time kind of, instead of directing them and just telling them what to do, just be like, okay, you did a good job with this, that kind of thing. I can't, it's hard to do that to yourself. I don't really know how to describe it. Like motivating myself to play, I'm gonna be honest, is difficult. That's probably why there's a lot less games played this weekend in trials. That, and I was also working on the Valheim video, which I had just posted, and that took me like 60 hours total to make. So that took up, that's probably more of the reason. But either way, the motivation to play the game was just not there really. I didn't really have any desire to play after the first 10 games when I just got absolutely destroyed, but I played up until 32, nothing really changed. I'm really hoping that as I play more consistently, more often, and stats start to even out, it will just be an uphill trend. Kind of like with card counting. I don't know how many people that watch this have any idea how that works, but it's just this super long run. You're always looking about the long run, and you have a bunch of variance in what happens session to session, or in this case week to week. And I'm hoping this is kind of what this is overall over the course of... Interesting. I'm on call right now for work, and I just got a spam call, so, you know, it gets my blood pressure going a little bit, but... but besides that, I forgot what I was on about, so... I taught myself the card count, and I would argue that this is similar to that, where it's just, you know, you can't focus on the variance of each session or each week. It has to be just a long-term steady doing what you're supposed to do, ignoring the ups and downs, and just overall knowing that after, in the long run, you'll get better and you'll do well. And I suppose that's kind of what YouTube is too when you're starting a new channel, but more so with card counting, kind of just anything when you're really just starting. It's bad to just look at the statistics and take too much stock in that, because if you have one bad game or one bad week, it takes your motivation out, and then you end up playing worse because you think you should play worse. It's hard to talk about when you're doing bad, but it is important, and I want to document my journey. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching.